Hey, thank you for joining me for another review. Today we are going to travel to Korea. I am trying Nongshim's Neoguri noodles. Take a look at the packaging there. I love the detail on this package. So this is Nongshim Neoguri stir-fry noodles, spicy seafood flavor. This is a big package. Compared to the other ones that I've been sampling that tend to be around 3 ounces, this is a little over 4.5 ounces. So it's a big package of noodles. It is from Korea. Now there are a couple different ways to prepare this. There are 2 methods that they suggest. One is stovetop with a strainer, where you cook the noodles, then you strain most of the water out. Or stovetop without a strainer, which is what I'm going to do. I've got a little bit of hot water going here, where you use less water, add in your ingredients, and you don't strain any of the water out. So I'm going to go with that method. I'm excited about this. I can't remember if I've reviewed a Korean noodle or not. I'm going to turn down my water. It is boiling away. So I'm excited to try this. Spicy seafood. Again, the packaging is just beautiful. So let's open this up and take a look at what we've got here. Maybe we can open this up. Down the side's easier. So first of all, we have this big round cake of noodles. Take a look at that. Bigger and fluffier than most of the noodles that we've seen. So I'm gonna put that aside and see what else we have in the packaging. So we have several other pieces here. Bunch of mess. So we have a soup base. We have what's just called flakes, and looks like some kind of a seasoning oil that we have here. There's the seasoning oil. So the directions for this method say to bring to a boil 400 milliliters of water, which I have going here, in a saucepan. Then add in the noodles and just the flakes. Looks like we leave that for later. And then we're going to boil that for 5 minutes, and then after that we're going to stir in the soup base and the seasoning oil and then serve it up. So it looks like I've got the water boiling. Again, these are beautiful, big, fluffy noodles. I love this bigger noodle. So I'm excited to try this. And again, much bigger than the other packages. So this is going to go into the water. We're going to open up the flakes. Take a look at that. There's all sorts of things in there. I'm going to add that in. It looks like it's like some seaweed and probably some fish flakes. Okay, and there are this little character. So if you can see this little thing right there, there are some of those floating in the water. That is awesome. So, set timer for 5 minutes. We're going to let that boil away for 5 minutes. Thank you. And we will be back and give this a taste test. All right, our 5 minutes is up, and I've transferred our noodles and a little bit of the broth that was left into a bowl. And take a look at that. Looks delicious. The seaweed puffed up. We have little bits of orange and brown pieces, which I'm assuming are some kind of seafood, because the seafood flavor is just coming off of this bowl like crazy. It's almost like you're sticking your face in the ocean. It smells very seafoody, and it has, let me grab a spoon. It has these little characters. I'm not sure if that's in focus or not. It has these little characters in the noodles as well. I'm hoping someone from Korea is watching and can help me identify the importance of this little character, but it's got some cute little pieces in there. Okay, so 5 minutes with the flakes, which again is seaweed, seafood, and these little characters. And now we are to add in our soup base, which I'll add in now. It is very red looking. I will show you before I stir it up. And then this is the seasoning oil that I will add in. Oh, that smells really good. Add in that seasoning oil, which also has kind of an orange reddish hue to it. So there we have it with the add-ins. I'll go ahead and mix that up, and then it says to sit for 30 seconds. So I'll let that mix in while it sits. It looks incredibly spicy now with that soup base and the oil. It's turning everything a really rich red color, which to me says this may be spicy. It is spicy seafood flavor, but as we've looked at with a few of these noodles, a lot of them labeled as spicy have not really been that spicy, which makes them a good foundation to add your own level of spice, which is nice. But I know some of these are actually quite spicy. Clean up my mess here. All right, so there it is. We're all mixed up, we're ready to go. Smells delicious. It actually has more of a barbecue-y type smell to it now. Before I added in that soup base, it smelled just like the ocean. Very overpowering smell of seafood. Almost like a bunch of fish have been just sat out on a dock and you walked past it and got that waft of seafood smell in your nose. Now it smells kind of more barbecue-y in flavor. Huge pieces of seaweed. It looks super hot, but I'm excited to give it this a bit of a try. So there are our noodles, a little bit of seaweed in there, super hot. Let's give this a try. It's very spicy. I just love these noodles. They're just so much different from most of the other instant noodles that I'm trying. The mouthfeel is just silky. The bigger noodle just makes for a nicer bite. I love these Korean noodles. I'm not sure if all of the Korean noodles are this style. In my local market, I picked up, I think 2 or 3 different varieties of Korean noodles. So I'm excited to see if they all have this same kind of mouthfeel, slightly larger noodle. I'm gonna try some of the seaweed here, which is good. It has a nice little crunch to it. And whatever these brown bits are, some kind of fish, a little chewy. They've got some mussels, it looks like, on the packaging. It actually tastes, I don't know, more like a crustacean, like crab, or I'm not sure what that is. But it's good, and maybe these orange bits are actually carrot. I do think it's actually mussel or clam. That's more what that taste is. So I think the brown bits in there are some type of a shellfish. But the flavor is quite delicate once you get the other seasoning in there. It doesn't overpower the noodles. The seaweed is nice. It's kind of al dente, has a nice little bite to it. And the noodles are just glorious tasting and nice and spicy. The seafood flavor is definitely still there. I'm gonna try some of the broth here. It's just really good. The spice level is right for me. It's not overpowering, but you know it's spicy. You get the tingling in the mouth. The noodles are just near perfection. They're just elegant, I guess is the best way to describe it. The seafood is a nice blend. It's definitely there. You can taste that this is a seafood noodle, but it's not overpowering. The seaweed is a nice complement. Just overall, a fantastic offering. Really impressed with these noodles from Korea. Again, from Nongshim Neoguri, spicy seafood noodles. Really happy with these. Again, a bigger portion, so this may be more than enough to fill me up. Spice level is fantastic. Excited to try some more of the Korean noodles I picked up. Hopefully you enjoyed today's noodle review. Check out some of my other reviews. If you're liking the content, would love a subscribe and a thumbs up. It's not really why I'm doing it, but it helps to know that people are watching. I'm loving making these videos just for myself, but I love connecting with other people. So let me know you're here, drop a comment, give a thumbs up, and have an amazing rest of your day.